Okay, so you might be focused on something behind me, but what are you really focused on? Are you focused on this? Because what you should be focused on is what I'm standing on. This is one of my rental properties, and this rental property pays for this, and it pays for a bunch of other stuff that's just luxury. You need to have your assets pay for your luxuries. And really, at the end of the day, it's all about building up wealth for future generations. Isn't that right, little buddy? Yeah, that's right. Mwah. Start building generational wealth today. Visit topfundmanager.com. Welcome to the Money Play,
where we give you the game so you can run the play.
So guys, listen, this is gonna be a crazy series, okay? We're gonna have so many phenomenal entrepreneurs from across the nation. They're gonna be giving you guys plays so you can run them.
Not just giving you the plays, they're gonna show you how to run it, make money in your business. Not IG cap, not social media outtakes. This is real people who do real things, who have made it in business, and they're gonna not leave out the parts where they fucked up.
Damn right.
Our first guest today, do you know who it is?
I peeked at your notes, I ain't gonna lie to you. I peeked just a tad,
I didn't look at your notes. My notes are, I have the most phenomenal realtor in Atlanta and beyond. She is a real estate extraordinaire. Her name is Miss Quiana Watson, and I cannot wait for you guys to see all she has going on.
And let me chime in. First of all, she is an inspiration to so many people across the nation, and actually a lot of women.
I mean, let's talk about it. Not just women. She's showing these men how to get to a bag,
too. She sure is. Oh, she's showing how to get to the bag.
She's showing the men how to get to a bag, too. Let's be very, very clear. The girls in Atlanta, this is not what you see on IG. She is actually doing this. And
really do it.
Doing it. So, welcome to the stage, Miss Quiana Watson.
Welcome.
Hi. Goodness, you guys look so good.
Now you look good. Mwah.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
I knew you were going to be super duper beat today. I said someone wear me some puff sleeves.
Listen, I have to do the beat down. I'm talking business today. Let me do a little. Let me give you guys a little doo-doo with the suit.
A doo-doo with a suit, but you know, Kiana's like, I do it my way, and that's what I love about you. It is never a, oh, you have to wear this to be a realtor, to be a high-end agent. No, honey, you show them.
No, not at all. You can show up and show out and still sell all the houses in Atlanta like me and my broker and agents do.
Oh, okay.
And the thing that I really, really like, and then you guys can be testament to this too, is like, y'all actually really do it. Like, Quiana, you really do this. You do this.
Yes.
And I've watched you grow over the years, so just kudos to you. I mean, congratulations on all your accomplishments, seriously.
I really appreciate that. You know, that's the difference. There's IG cap, there's people that say they're doing it, and there are people that are actually doing it.
Closing.
We're closing.
You're always at a closing, you're always in a photo shoot. I'm like, how does she do all that?
Yeah.
Like, this girl is in a full beat, suits, closings. I don't know how you do it.
Coffee.
Oh,
coffee and water.
And I saw that too. Actually, I saw something like, okay, my husband sets my coffee, he gets my coffee. This is
coffee.
I'm like, yo.
It's coffee and water.
Her coffee and her gas.
And
coffee and her gas.
Yeah, gotta have that gas up in there.
I love it. So, for those of you who do not know, we are going to allow Quiana to tell us who she is. Not what we've seen, not the person that we already know, but we want the audience to really get to know. Okay. Who is Quiana?
Well, Quiana Watson is an entrepreneur. I really feel like we all have the opportunity to be great. So, of course, I'm known as being a real estate broker, you know, top producing broker, award-winning broker, right? Selling houses, but I've recently just really doubled down on building out my real estate firm. So I have Watson Realty Co., and not only are we bringing in multiple agents, we're grooming those agents to build teams and showing them how to structure their business. Yeah. And that's really important to me because they don't really teach you that. So beyond that, of course, I have my podcast. We talk about real estate with Rants and Gems.
Which we love.
Listen, and you guys both were guests on our show. I also have my online training academy, Agents Who's for Success. Oh, yeah, just launched our online membership CEO Academy with my partners, Roddy Brown and Tiffany Toy. And I love that membership because we're not just talking about real estate.
Right.
When I started to diversify and, you know, talk about government contracting, branding, marketing, investing, you know, we make this money when you're selling real estate, but again, what are you supposed to do? What is your exit strategy, right?
No one tells you that.
Nobody tells you that. We talk about that all the time. Yeah. You may start off in the car all the time, but how can you elevate and grow your business from being that agent to then being a team leader to maybe a broker owner, or maybe you just want to buy houses and invest,
Exactly.
right?
Do it however you want to
do it your way.
Do it your way.
So in a nutshell, of course, I'm a wife and I am a friend of many, but I'm more of the person that wants people to know my journey. I share my journey because I feel like it's important. I'm not a person to really dig into other people's business.
Right.
I like to mind my business, but I want it to be very clear to people what I do and how I do it.
Right.
So you don't ever look and say, wow, I wonder what she does for a living. You know what I do for a living.
Right.
You know how I'm making my money. You know how I'm making these moves, and I'm sharing it to be more of an inspiration
Right.
to show what's possible. It's not braggadocious.
No,
there's certain things you can brag on.
No, honey, it ain't bragging
But-
if it's true.
Right.
It ain't bragging if it's true.
And
This ain't
receipts are
cap.
played.
Yeah.
But I want people to know that anything you want, it's achievable, right?
Yeah.
If you're in the right room and you change your mindset,
Right.
you can do anything you want in this world, and that's what's important to me.
What I love
Amen to that.
watching your journey, I mean, I've seen it, of course, and
Yeah.
we're going to get into it, but to see you grow from an agent that before social media, people really didn't know who agents were unless they were on billboards, plastered all over the place,
Right.
and you've done that as well. But to see your growth and really take it to another level. You really made IG your own television show. You know that, right?
Yes, I listen. I call it the Quiana Show.
I love that.
When I log on to my social media, I literally say, this is the Quiana Show. Let me tell you guys from the beginning to the end what I'm doing with my day, from drinking coffee to negotiating a contract, stopping by somewhere. When you take people on your journey, it intrigues them.
Yeah, and
It's
that's
intriguing.
important. That's super important, because the thing is, like, even just me watching her over these years, because guys, I've known her for years. And just seeing like how she started her brokerage firm to even doing, like, we'll get into the developments you're doing in the investing.
yes.
I mean, that's just amazing. So we definitely have to get these plays so you can educate the audience.
It's the multiple streams for me, and not just saying it. You know, we always talk about this, generational wealth and multiple streams of income. Girl, what are you doing? Like, you got 5 things going on, and none of them you're executing on. Like, you're doing this at such a high level.
Right.
In every area. So how? Break that down. Like, break down your day from the photo shoots to the branding piece of it, because that's the part that I
You
don't
didn't even
think
wake
most
up.
people can wake up to do. It's tiring. Like, right.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm going to say I start my day at 7 a.m. And you have to begin with having the right support.
Yeah.
A lot of people think you can do all of this and have a one-person show. I have a staff for CEO Society. We have a staff for Agent Tools for Success. I have a staff for Quiana Watson.
Right.
And I have a staff for Watson Realty Co. These are 4 different businesses that require a support team
Right.
to get things going. So my morning looks like checking into the admin staff for each business.
Wow.
Because no matter what, when you hire people to run your business,
Right.
they're hired for a reason, but it's your vision. You have to execute. So you do have to check in. And I found that having that little quick 15-minute morning talk, hey, just making sure we're on the same page in addition to detailed emails.
We call it a Rockefeller roundup. We
Yeah.
don't need to talk all day. I just need a little 15 minutes
little
with you.
15 minutes,
Yeah.
make sure we're on the same page. And processes and systems. I
Right.
think so many times we just get in the habit of just doing something.
Right.
And we never write down our processes or our systems.
Right.
Anybody can sit in my seat of any of the businesses and run the business because the back end processes are there.
I love
And that's one thing that I'm glad you picked up on, actually even brought up, is that so many people are trying to do everything on their own.
Oh, yeah.
And that was something that a lot of people just have to realize, like, listen, give the load to somebody else. Have somebody else do that, so then you're not just trying to do everything, and you can do more higher level stuff like what I've been seeing you do.
Absolutely. You'll never, like if you don't hire any help and you think you can just do this as a one-person show,
Yeah.
first of all, you'll be burnt out and you'll be
Definitely.
operating at a low level
Right.
for every business. That's why people say, I want multiple streams of income, but you have these multiple streams, but they're not profitable.
Right.
They're not profitable because you don't have the right people in place
Right.
to help you execute the vision.
Okay.
I'm more of a visionary.
I love that.
Because since I know that, I know I have to put the right people in place to help execute that vision.
So let's talk about, since IG is your TV show.
Yes.
It's been the Quiana Show, but we've got a little reality television show we need to
We've seen
discuss
that.
since
We've
we're
been
here.
seeing that.
We're going to go ahead and get it all out
Let's
here.
just get it all out there.
Get it
Let's get it out.
all
Let's get it
out.
out.
Reality TV.
It's not for me.
I feel you. I feel you on that, though. I feel you
I'm gonna
100%
say
on that.
I'm just going to
Girl!
I
let
feel
me
you
just
100%
put it
on
on
that.
the table here.
It's not for
There's
everybody.
no
I feel
secret
you.
about it. It's not for me. I think that, can we just be honest here?
I
Let's
want
be
you,
honest,
this is
please.
the
All right,
table. You can
please.
be honest.
In
Put it
my
all on the table.
opinion, in my opinion, I don't think the world is ready to see Black women specifically in all of their glory.
I don't think so.
They'll never want to see us like operating in excellence in how we actually run our businesses and how we really support each other. I feel like no matter what, the narrative will always be skewed a little bit. Now, I am who I am. I take full responsibility. Let me tell you, I don't regret anything I did on that show. There's two things I want people to know. I'm very professional, but yeah, I'm not the one to really be messed with either.
You're still from Fayetteville. You still from
Fayetteville,
Fayetteville,
North Carolina.
And that's what I think people get confused.
And there's nothing wrong with that, but I feel like, you know, it's okay to show conflict, but if conflict becomes the driving force of an entire show,
a real estate
where
show.
we filmed days and days and hours of additional content, but you'll take the drama and let it like
that's 90%.
Exactly.
90% drama, and then even when they try to like, it's so crazy. Like the last episode, of course I watched the episode, even though I'm no longer affiliated with that.
Girl, I heard that.
I do not
that was a bombshell.
I was looking at it. I said, wow, they're going to take a full 3 days of work and squeeze it into 15 seconds.
Right.
They showed me in like quick seconds, rants and gems, doing everything I actually do.
Right, in 15 seconds.
In 15 seconds, and now let's have the rest of these 45 minutes of these people bickering and arguing.
I think that's probably the biggest challenge, and you and I spoke about this.
Yeah.
We spoke about this before the show came out.
Right.
And filming a reality show myself, they always say, oh, we want a different type of show.
They always say that,
I
that's
said,
true.
Sure you do.
Right.
Yeah, and you think they do because they sell you on, like, you're like, well, how are you gonna get drama out of me? How am I? They bring people on there who don't have anything to lose.
Can I just say this, and I think that that's really where it started. There, you know, you start off like, we're gonna be on one accord, and then things get said, and then production, you know, they have a job to do.
They manipulate.
And listen, I respect everybody has a job to do. And that's why I always say I'll take full responsibility for myself. Like if you put me in a room with people that I normally wouldn't be around, and things are being said out the way, I am a confrontational person. I am from Fayetteville, North Carolina, and I don't back down.
We're gonna have to correct
I'm gonna have to correct what you said.
We're gonna correct that
and
behavior.
it may appear to be assertive and a little aggressive, but at the end of the day, that's what happened, right? I'm not taking away from it. I think that if we were not to show that, it's like almost showing that you're not human. When someone asks me again, like, oh, is that in character? Yes. Everything I do, everything we do is in character.
The character that you brought me in.
So I'm never gonna say that person brought me out of character. No, that was a piece of the character. That's part of me. But also I run these businesses. I'm smart, I'm a leader. I support other women wholeheartedly. And that's something that you can't see.
So and I have to chime in with you on that. What's crazy is that I was asked to be on the show. I'm not gonna name the show, but we actually were filming the show similar to what you guys were doing. And then they brought on a person I didn't know that well to start drama with. And I'm like, yo, I'm not even a drama type. I had to walk off the show like, hey, I'm not doing it. I signed a contract, I'm not doing the show. Because they try to bring it out of you for no reason.
I mean, again, to your point, the producers have a job. But we have a job to correct our own brand at the same time. And we can control the narrative. And that's what I loved about, you know, I was so excited when the show was coming on. I was like, let me see what the girl's about to do.
I was super excited.
I knew you were going to bring it, and I knew that they had so much stuff to film about you that it didn't have to be this. And I think at the end of the day, you know, they say if you're not yelling, you're not selling. That's from a reality standpoint.
But also too, though, you carried yourself incredibly well on that show. Like literally, because like we know her. So she still carried herself on a high level, even in situations where they were trying to really get something out of her. So like you really carried yourself super well on that.
Let me tell you, I said I had to keep it together. And a lot of that has a lot to do with, you know, I am aware, but even in my real life, even with no cameras rolling, I know I would have handled it the same way because you have a just certain level where when I say with or without this show, I'm good.
You're gonna live your
life. I'm gonna live. My businesses are flourishing. Like I could literally bombard you. I can post closing after closing every other day, business after business venture, with or without. And now that I recognize that. It doesn't matter how great you are. It doesn't matter what your intentions are. I don't think that reality TV will do Black women and men the same way they do other races. I watch real estate shows. And with other races, there's a little drama.
It's 10% drama, 90% closing.
So,
90%
in fact, so let's get on that because really, I want to talk to you about the business.
Let's go.
So let's talk about the business. So first of all, what even got you in real estate? Like, let's talk about that. What got you in it?
Like, my story is so different. So I got my real estate license in 2007. I just was like, listen.
Before the crash, guys.
Before the crash.
Before the crash.
She's been doing this for a while.
Before the
and she's
crash.
still in it.
So let's give
like,
them that story.
Before the crash. And I'm thinking, I met these women and they're all fabulous and they all had their own Chanel bags. And I'm like, what do y'all do? Y'all do real estate. And I was in sales at the time. I've always been in a sales position. And I was working in a sales position. I said, I can do this. So I'm like, I'm going to get my real estate license.
Right.
I went out, got my real estate license. And like they tell you in school, you're going to be great. All you have to do is tell everybody you have your license. They're going to work with you, and that's it. Got my license.
Right. Okay, sure.
I said,
How many houses did you sell the first year?
I got my license, let me tell you. And I walked out. Hi, everybody. I have my real estate license. And then that was it.
Crickets.
Didn't sell one house. It was cricket.
What?
It was cricket.
It was cricket.
And I think my mindset was so skewed. I thought by going into the office, and this is what most people think, I was going into the office every day. It wasn't until later I recognized, you know why you couldn't sell a house?
Yeah, because you're in the office.
You're in the office with other agents that have business. These agents will never buy a house from you.
No.
Right.
You're in the wrong place.
Yeah, and no one tells you that.
You gotta be out there
Nobody
networking.
tells you that. Nobody explains to you that getting the license is just your certification.
Absolutely.
Everything else is self-education, you really pushing yourself.
Yes.
And so tell us, break it down. What happened? What was your turning point?
My turning point was much later. I ended up, like when the market crashed, I left the industry and I got into property management.
Oh, okay.
I was managing multifamily housing, like 415 units, 300 units. The last property I left was 297 units. And I did that from 2009 until 2015.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
7 years?
7 years.
So got your license.
Yeah.
Didn't do so well coming out the gate.
Nope.
So in 2015, what happened?
So 2015, the last property I was managing, it was right in Peachtree Corners, which, well, North Cross, but now Peachtree Corners.
Peachtree Corners. We've been named.
They were selling the property.
Okay.
And of course, when they're doing an acquisition, you know, you have to make sure it's occupied. You got to make sure the numbers are in place and you understand the reports. And I had the option to take my severance, or I could have interviewed with a new company. And during that time, keep in mind, I had reactivated. I had to put my license reactivated in 2013.
Okay.
And I ended up closing some deals part-time.
Okay.
And I was doing really well. And my husband was actually, one of the first deals was one of his friends.
Okay.
And he was like, listen, this is my wife.
She's an agent.
She's an agent. She's going to help you buy the house. And then the next deal was one of his truck drivers from his trucking business. And I'm like, I really like this, and I'm doing well.
You like
And
those checks.
I like the check.
That's a different check.
This is
That's
2013.
a different check.
Different check. So 2015, I said, I can go full-time in real estate and really bet on myself, or I can continue to let people tell me what you're worth per year.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with working in corporate, but you can say, someone can tell you you're worth $100,000 a year, or you can bet on yourself and you can make $100,000 a month.
I like that.
Right. So,
I
so
like
my
that
question is
number.
this. So in that transition from when the market crashed, you got your license 2007. You know, it was crickets when you announced to, hey, I'm an agent.
Yeah.
And then, so moving forward around 2008, 2009, that's when you're in the property management.
Yeah.
So then 2015, your husband, you guys start selling. So then was that more so the turning point, would you say, when you started saying, okay, this is really something that's super lucrative?
The turning point for me was really not 2015.
Okay.
2015, September 2015 is when I got back into the industry full time.
Okay.
But again, you're talking about somebody that has been used to someone saying you got to be somewhere every
Corporate.
morning at 9 to 6.
Right.
So I actually used that time to kind of like relax and kind of ease my way into real estate. 2016 is about when you kind of started keeping up with me, and I said, you know, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to focus on doing more on social media because I recognize that some people just got the it, like that je ne sais quoi. I was like, people are interested in what I'm talking about.
Right.
So let me make this fun. And so by accident, I just put a holster in my car. And I was like, let me just share my day because I'm bored in this car.
Yeah.
And at that time, I'm closing every deal. So I would go from McDonough to Hampton. I'll
Got
go up
to.
to
You got to.
Alpharetta,
Cherokee County.
You gotta go where the
County,
money's at.
Douglasville. I would have 4 or 5 clients in a day.
Right.
And I would just share the day. And more people were like, wow.
She's everywhere.
She's everywhere, and
Right.
I'm watching her, and I'm learning, because in between, I'm educating them on what we're doing. So then when I got in, so 2016 was a good year, and I said,
Right.
oh, I'm never going back.
Okay, so let's share this number because we like to be transparent here. So when you start selling real estate, and again, Most people start out with crickets. You were coming from another industry,
Yeah.
so that experience from the property management, I'm sure you applied a lot of that discipline.
All of it.
Yeah,
Not
all of
just the
that.
discipline, the
Right.
marketing, the
Right.
back end systems, like everything about property management. What people don't recognize is when you walk into the office, the leasing agents are getting paid a commission for you to get the apartment. The property manager, I'm getting paid a bonus to keep the management fees low.
Right.
So by low, that means, oh, if you need a new refrigerator, not new, let's see if we can just kind of fix it.
Right.
And
You
I
got to
can
be
get
a problem solver.
Yeah, it's a problem solver. So when you're looking at every single role, even when it comes to the assistant manager,
Right.
my assistant manager was more of in the collections role. So they're the ones making sure they're collecting and filing writ of possessions, going to court. And so when you're the big picture of knowing every role,
Right.
I applied that to my real estate business.
So this is, so I call this the accident that actually propelled you to be where you are today.
Yes.
Because you were able to learn on someone else's dime
Oh,
and
yes.
basically run a multi-million-dollar company,
Absolutely.
multiples
Multiples.
without a master's.
Without a master's.
Yeah, the master's degree you had. This master's right here was on-the-job training.
On that on-the-job training was, I feel like knowing how to run a property, it just prepared me for the real estate world because we had goals. And they were, now that I look back on it, they were lofty goals. Like,
Right.
it'd be like,
Right.
our collection was $400,000 a month.
Right.
Like, and when
Wow,
I
just
look
in
at,
rents.
in rent.
Just in
Wow.
rent.
In
Okay.
rents.
Right.
Like, yes.
Yes.
It
That's
was,
a lot.
Yeah.
it's $800 a door, and then you would want to raise rents. It's like, well, typically it's a 5% raise, but if you can get everyone to raise their rents by 10% as a property manager, you get a bonus. So
Wow.
I always received my bonus.
Right.
I
Yeah.
knew how to do my job.
Right.
And I think that prepared me when I got into real estate, like the discipline, the follow-up, the follow-through, and understanding expenses, understanding marketing. We had to market for the property.
Absolutely.
All of that stuff.
And I do want to talk about that. So I guess for you just learning all these things on the job, what's the play for people out there that are literally just getting to the real estate business and you having came from, being licensed 2007, then you're starting to build yourself out. Like, what was one of the plays that you saw that was super important to help start propelling you to this Quiana that you are now?
There are two plays, and I'm gonna start. The number one play is know what you're doing.
Take them notes. Take them notes.
Know what
Make
you're doing.
sure you know what you're doing. I took time to read the entire purchase and sale agreement, all the amendments. I took the time to actually buy the books, the Red Book, the Georgia Red Book for Georgia
Right.
contracts.
Yeah.
I
Right.
wanted to know. So first of all, your knowledge is your power. There are so many agents that operate in mediocrity because they really don't know the contract. They just know how to sell.
Right.
Yeah.
Understand, know what you're doing. And then that second play is why I feel like I'm the most loved, but almost a little bit hated. Because the problem is, you can be the best, but if nobody knows you're the best,
Yeah.
you'll never get to where you need to go. So you
Right.
need to market and position yourself. Marketing and positioning myself will be, maybe you do sell as much as me, or maybe you do know as much as me. But guess what? 500 people may know, as opposed to me and my platform, 500,000 people will know.
Yes, 500,000.
So because of that, I'm gonna always have a one-up on someone that's not consistently marketing and branding and reminding the world of the value that you bring to your business.
I love
And, and also,
that.
too, though, I do feel that you have an amazing personality. Because the thing is that sometimes on camera or social media, you might think, oh, well, this person is so high up. But literally, in reality,
Oh, yeah.
this woman is
Always
super
approachable.
down to earth and super approachable. And
Right.
that's one thing that I love about you
Oh,
is
thank
that
you.
you're down to earth and you'll still be willing to help other people.
I love
So,
that.
and
I
I
love
think that
that.
really attributes to your success, honestly.
I would say
You know,
that's a
for
lot
sure.
because people will put you on the pedestal. Like I always say, don't put me on the pedestal I ain't asked to be put on. Like,
Right.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. Like I'll be at a place and someone would literally walk past me or like see me at a restaurant and I had somebody DM me, I just saw you.
That
Right.
happened to me last night.
Turn around and come back and say, hey.
Right,
Like,
it's okay to
last
say, hey,
night.
guys. It's
Okay.
okay.
Like
Yeah.
I'm a livable, I'm a breathable, I'm touchable. Like I want people to know that I'm human.
Right.
So when you're like that and you have no, like my intentions are always to just show people it's possible.
Right.
But don't put me on this pedestal like you can't ask me a question or you can't talk to me.
Yeah, you can
You
join her.
know?
You can join her program if
This-
you want to ask detailed
Yes.
questions.
But any like if you
Yeah, general question. I'm
listen,
Amazing
you know where I got my
program.
biggest lesson from?
What?
Early on in my when I was early in my career, just, I was really into always posting all my outfits, which I think I'm gonna get back to that.
Yeah.
And this woman reached out to me and she said, where did you get, it was like a pair of shoes or something, and I responded to her. And then she contacted me the next day and said she wants to buy a house.
Wow.
And then she said she wanted to buy the house cash.
What?
And I said, I thought she was BSing because she was in London.
Yeah.
She sent me her bank statements. She came in town that next week and bought a house cash because I answered a question about a pair of shoes.
A simple question.
I'm telling you guys,
simple question.
that works.
That slide in the DM is a real thing, and that's what I love about it. So we are going to take a break, and when we get back, we are going to break it down so Quiana can explain to you everything she has going on and show you how to run the play.
We've got eyes on the suspect. A repeat suspect has arrived. Over. Suspect has the bag. A repeat suspect has the bag. There's got to be more than just 60-second brown kits in that bag. We have to catch her this time. Control, be advised of staying on her. Send in backup units. Control, do you copy? Where's my backup? We're about to lose her. The plane's in the air. She's gone. We just lost her again.
Atlanta, Decatur, Stone Mountain, Snellville, and Gwinnett. Tired of paying for overpriced hair you can't reuse and tangles? Pretty Hair on Memorial Drive is inside Walk-In Weaves. We carry 100% virgin body wave, loose wave, deep wave, silky and kinky, plus closures and frontals. Hair prices start at just $50 and bundle deals are available. We're open Sundays till 5. Purchase hair, have it installed on site. Call today at 470-428-4982.
Hi, I'm Catherine Bush, mortgage lender with Southern First Bank, and I know the mortgage loan process can be overwhelming. If you're thinking about buying or building a new home or refinancing your existing home, I would love the opportunity to connect with you and hear what your goals are so that I can help you achieve them. My team and I are so excited to walk you through every step of the process and provide you with our client-first experience. Call me today or visit our website, southernfirst.com/Catherine with a K, and I can't wait to meet you and talk through the process with you.
And we are back at the money play.
Yes, we are back. So listen, we are going to get into some serious business here. Okay, so one thing, Quiana, is we gotta get some plays, right?
Okay.
And I know during the pandemic, a lot of people transitioned over, like, just staying at home, and so they had to figure out ways to make money. And one thing that I saw that you did, I thought that was an amazing play, was you started up an academy.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to hear about this academy that you have.
Oh, no, absolutely. Let's talk about Agent Tools for Success. I recognize that if someone can continue to ask you the same question over and over and over, there's value in that answer.
Right, absolutely.
Right? And oftentimes we forget that our intellectual property has value.
Right.
Yes,
So I'm like, if they can ask it and they want the answer, they can certainly pay for it.
I love that.
And I started to research digital sales and digital marketing and digital branding. And I recognized, let's create an online academy and let's give people the resources and tools for success that you're not going to get by going to school. And a lot of this stuff is not Googleable information.
No.
And I started the online academy, and
What month did you launch?
I launched the online academy in October 2020.
Okay.
However, it didn't really, 2021 was the flagship year.
Okay.
When I hired the right people at the
Right.
right time. It's always about, like I said before, hiring the right team.
Right.
I hired the right team, and when I say that business
Exploded.
exploded.
Now, and now what I want to ask too is, what are the type of things that you're teaching? So it's mainly, and just to make sure we're clear, it's licensed real estate agents. So you're teaching them how to be successful real estate agents?
Yes, licensed real estate agents. I'm teaching them not just how to be successful real estate agents, but how to scale their businesses. How many people, people don't even know how do you pay an administrative assistant?
Right.
What should you pay? Who should you hire first?
Right.
How does a support staff look? How do you structure a team? What are some back-end processes that you need in place? Representing buyer clients, representing seller clients. What are multiple ways to price a property properly.
Right, not
You
just
know,
a CMA.
Yeah.
Not just a CMA.
Not just a CMA.
And so we take deeper dives into this information, and what outside of it just being lucrative for me, it's a purposeful business.
Right.
We did an award ceremony last year. Over 300
that.
agents came in town.
Saw that.
And I awarded the agents that were committed to the academy, and beyond that, 30% of our agents all increased and doubled their revenue.
I love that.
Yeah.
So it's really impacting their lives, and it's changing how they run their business.
You know,
Yeah.
you're changing their lives. You're changing their bottom line. So
Yes.
that makes all the difference. And for me, seeing you do this, I was like, how many agents are, but it's agents from across the country. This
Yes.
is not
Yeah.
Georgia.
No,
this
this
is
is
across
not
the
Georgia.
country.
We have New York. We had a couple of people from Canada,
Oh my goodness.
Africa,
Oh my.
and West Coast. I mean, it's all over the world.
Your reach is amazing.
And-
I've watched it, and from afar, I'm looking at, like, I see you go on live. You do not just your engagement with them, but you're engaging with everyone else to let them know, you want to keep asking me questions? I can answer them, but this is a community.
Yes.
This is a place that you can get all your questions answered.
Absolutely.
I love that. And the pandemic, I'm sure, made a difference.
It made a huge difference because people had time.
Yeah.
They had time to figure out how they wanted to structure their businesses. Everybody was a little afraid. We weren't sure how this was going to affect the real estate
We're
industry.
still in it.
But we still had to figure out a new way,
Right.
Right.
right?
With
And
no inventory.
With no inventory.
Right.
And it really worked out. So I always, a play for everyone is think about what you know that nobody else knows. And the simplest math is to say, let me figure out first do an ebook and test the world, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Or do a webinar and test it out. That's what I did.
Oh.
My first webinar was turn those likes to closing.
I like that.
And that was just a quick social media webinar. And I said, wow.
The
I had over
engagement.
the
Yeah.
engagement. I had over 150 people sign up for the webinar.
That's awesome.
So you do a tester and then figure out, okay, if my information is valuable enough for people to purchase
Right.
and look at your reviews,
Right.
build out an academy because nobody knows you and can do you like you do you.
You do
Yeah.
you. That's the play.
And
Yes.
also too, and what you said that was super important, is that a lot of people might already be interested in what you're doing anyway. So she has a platform, but even people that don't have platforms, you might have a few people that really want to learn from you. So if you actually start that academy or start that education and actually charge people for it, you'll be surprised. Because what's crazy is I know people that have these crazy educations, right?
Right.
Yes.
But they're too scared. They're too scared to actually go out and literally run a play like that because they think they're going to fail. I'm like, yo, worst case scenario, you're just going to make some money.
No, my favorite one is they think they don't want to tell anybody because they're going to take their business. Honey, you can't take my business.
That is the point. And I can
You
tell
can't
you that
take it.
Even with my academy, there were some agents were like not happy about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Like feeling like I'm giving out too much game. Let me tell you, I ran the play, and by showing other people that they can be successful, what has happened is I've become more successful.
Right.
There's more
Right.
than enough business out here for all of us.
Right.
So don't come from a place of scarcity.
Yeah.
That scarcity mindset will keep you stagnant, and it will keep you broke.
It will keep you broke and broken. That's our biggest
Ooh,
problem.
yes.
Broke and broken.
Guys,
That
that's
is the part.
game. That's
And
game.
the other piece of it is not just your intellectual property that you know, they can't be you.
Yes.
You can't recreate
That's
Maya. You
true.
can't recreate Quiana. You can't
Absolutely.
recreate Justin. And we've all bought courses from each other.
Absolutely.
Like it's professional, like usually peer to peer, because there's a piece of it that you do that I'm like, how is she doing it like that? Because when I became a licensed agent, there was no Instagram. There was Facebook had just started.
Exactly.
So you get to see someone's evolution and growth. And again, what you're spending on photo shoots and makeup and hair and all of these things, this is something that most people don't want to make that investment. They're like, I want to be on a billboard. I'm like,
It's the
that's
same
your
investment.
billboard.
Yeah.
That's your billboard.
It's the same investment.
That's
but
your billboard.
It's better return.
Absolutely.
Better
And-
return.
And
Yeah.
speaking of returns, and both of you guys said something super important, is that when you're building other people up, those people will still build you up.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it.
Oh, yes.
Okay, you're helping out thousands of people across the nation, but guess what? They might not have a person in Atlanta to a referral client.
Yeah.
So then they're going to refer that
Absolutely.
to their mentor.
Our referral network is next level.
That
Right.
that
I'm
referral
sure.
check
Our
is
network
I'm
different.
sure.
is next level
Yeah.
from all of the agents that are a part of the academy. It's truly we pour into each other.
I love that.
And
Yeah.
as the market shifts, the biggest part of my academy that makes me stand apart is not just the knowledge, it's the mindset sessions I give.
Yeah.
Because what I recognize is that a lot of people, when I gave out an award to the person that just best improved their mindset last year,
I love that.
You know why? If you don't have the right mindset, you can have all the tools, systems, and resources in the world, but you will never be able to execute because you don't believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
So shifting your mindset to know it's okay to say that you deserve to make $1 million this year.
And do it scared.
And do it scared.
Do
It's
it
okay
scared.
to launch your class. It's okay. Whatever you want in this world, whatever you desire, it's okay for you to desire that.
Right.
Do the work for it and stop being afraid of failure.
can't.
Failure teaches you more lessons than success does.
I have learned more in my failures
Oh, yeah.
and been able to profit off of them.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, I made that mistake, but by doing so, now I can teach other people how not to make the mistake. So I'm going to
Absolutely.
give you the skip line, and that's what I love about what you've been doing with that. But the Agent Tools for Success, that is helping other agents across the country. I love that.
Yes.
But I want to talk about this tiny home situation.
Definitely want to hear
Okay.
about that.
That 50-day sellout ministry.
Congratulations on that too. Have mercy. Sold out. Sold out.
Girl,
Listen.
from a rendering.
Without
a
even breaking
rendering.
ground.
Dirt.
Renderings. Dirt.
Dirt.
We gotta get that play.
Okay.
Like we need that play.
Let me tell you this play. The play is your network is your net worth.
I love that.
And I was talking to Booker. He's one of the developers of the project. And he had to tell me, this is where it started. So that's why it's important to have a bigger reach. From his interview on Rants and Gems, doing our podcast, now you have a bigger reach. To now, my network of people, not just on social media, but my reach of people through my online academy,
Right.
my reach of people from doing the Rants and Gems podcast, and now you have this social media influence. People are like, listen, they're giving us some plays.
Right.
So in the background, what people don't see, you see the pictures, but what you don't see is the work that
the
I
work
did in the
going into
background
it.
to put together these spreadsheets, to put together these investor packages, to help people buy into the community. So you had to research what's going on in the community,
Right.
values in the community, how they're going to change the community.
Right.
And when you have that information, because again, knowledge first, marketing second.
Right, and you were able to show him what a lot of people don't understand. So this community, I want you to go on Quiana's page. We're going to give you all
It
her
looks
handles.
amazing.
It is
Amazing.
like, if you're from Atlanta, you're like, wait, it's where?
Yes.
They're not going to buy. That's why you can't listen to anybody.
No, you
You
can't.
got to know your market for yourself. You can't
Absolutely.
ever listen to what someone else will do. And when you drive up on it, you're like, there is no way.
They made that way.
Oh, you made a way.
Yes,
And
there
it was
is
your
way.
reach. I swear. I said,
Oh,
you
yeah.
were the secret sauce for that. Like, he had the vision and the idea,
stands behind
but
it.
but you were the person that said, this is like, because again, you can benefit from everybody's platform, but
Absolutely.
it depends on how you're introduced. They know your Lux. They feel Lux. They would
Yeah.
not have, and I love him. I think what he's doing is genius, but it's like, okay, you gave it the stamp of approval, and the way you marketed that in 50 days to sell out on a rendering at that price point, at that earnest money.
And how did you come up with the price point?
So, of course, you looked at the average price point in the area. So keep in mind, all of this is the market research.
Right.
Right.
We're building a tiny home community to be the answer to affordable housing. You can't be the answer to affordable housing when less than 25% of people in College Park own homes. If you
Right.
inflate the prices above their pay grade.
Right.
So the whole point of building this community was not just to say, yeah, we're sold out, but to also, like, we want to also be a solution.
Right.
Booker, he's actually from College Park,
I
born and
know.
raised. One
knows
of the one of our loan officers, Pauline, she's born and raised in College
Right.
Park. So there's heart in this project.
Right.
So we came up with the pricing based on what could be affordable to the people. We're not trying to push people out.
Right.
We're trying to push them in.
Right,
We want
and-
them
That's
to
awesome.
and upgrade.
and upgrade them
And
and have
upgrade
them let them have a sense of community
And
Yeah.
ownership.
community. And
And ownership.
ownership.
Because they're paying it in rent. Like,
Oh,
your
yeah.
price point, when you look at it, they're paying that in rent right now.
every single month.
You came from property management, and that is the real play. You need to understand right now is you are looking at a price point that, based on the interest rate with taxes and insurance, this is what you'd be paying for rent anyway.
Anyway.
And then they're building the community up. That's one thing. When you start
Yes.
investing and buying different pieces of land,
Yeah.
then you're going to then start replicating that. And then next thing you know, people are going to follow your lead.
It's already happening because
Yeah.
keep in mind, we were just out with the mayor. Blooper alert. We'll talk
Wow,
about that. We
okay,
were just out with the
okay.
mayor of College Park
I
the other
love
week
it.
and did an interview. And there's they want to continue to develop. So you know what happens when you develop a community?
Yeah.
What do you need next?
Yeah.
Grocery stores.
Stores. You need everything.
yeah.
You need
That's
retail.
real.
You need everything.
So now there's plans for us to do even more in that
That's
community.
awesome.
On a
and be-
commercial
on
level.
a commercial level.
I love that.
And I'm so excited about it because I did bring in, of course, you know, when you're selling a community, you have to have a set of people that come in and bring cash.
Right, absolutely.
To set the comps.
Yeah.
So you know, we got that part out the way.
You got you. She was her own Zillow. She was her own Zillow.
So,
We got that part out the way.
so one thing that I know a lot of people out there don't know is how to actually even build a tiny home community, let
Right.
alone a subdivision. So can you kind of at least give them some game on how do you even go about even getting something like that even approved?
First, you have to go to the city council meetings. You have to get to know the people that are in leadership of the county or city that you're interested in. These meetings are actually public knowledge.
Yeah.
These development meetings, what they have coming up, a Starbucks didn't just come into a place yesterday. You saw it, but it's been in plans for 10 years, 15 years.
Right.
We're not going to these meetings. So start with going to development meetings, then write out your vision.
Right.
Get the right investors. You have to show them your vision. The city no city wants someone to just come in and say, I'm building pretty houses and we're just trying to make money.
And they don't understand it.
They
you
don't
have
want
to, You
that.
have to convince them of what they need.
But if you say, I'm bringing in affordable housing so we can be the answer to the affordable housing crisis in the area, and now we have a lender that is also offering down payment assistance.
Love it.
Because we're not just interested in taking over the community.
Right.
We want to be inclusive of our community.
I love
so
that.
now you have a purpose.
Right.
You have to have a purpose behind your project. And having that purpose behind the project is how you start. Then from there, engineer.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
You gotta have an
the
engineer.
It's all that below dirt
that's-
you got to get
Yeah,
into.
you have to have an architect,
Engineer, architects,
and
yeah.
you have to get approval. They had to get approval for these plans. This is the first huge tiny home community.
Micro homes, 27,
Did
was
they
it
give you
27?
guys
29.
a lot of pushback? They try to push you back on that?
There was some pushback, but
Okay.
now they see the vision and they understand where it's
Right.
going, and they're like, sold out in 50 days. Where's the next project
Yeah.
going
Right.
to be?
Yeah,
And
nobody
I feel like
believes
that's even
it.
eco-friendly too.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it's
They are
environmental friendly and
Yes,
everything.
it is. Everything.
Yeah.
Everything that a city is looking for. So if you want to develop, start with the fundamentals.
Right.
Go to the meeting
And meet the people.
and meet the people.
Meet the people.
And tell them your vision. But your vision cannot come from a place of I just want to make money.
Right.
Right.
They're not going to stand behind that. But if
Right.
your vision for their community is to beautify the community, is to improve the community,
Right.
and
Right.
you're going to be inclusive of the people that are there,
Right.
now you have the backing to execute your vision.
Yeah, I love that. And on the tiny homes, let's just be clear, this is 29 homes on 3 acres. That's
Yes.
density.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's density. That's an individual taxpayer, tax dollars that improves your school system. So who wouldn't get behind that?
Absolutely.
So I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it a lot.
That's awesome.
But we have a few more things we want to discuss. And
What's the
Definitely.
What's the next play? I'm ready to give it out.
The last play, I saw it on your social, and I gagged. I said, wait a minute. Wait a
gotta get into
minute.
this one.
Where is the beef, girl?
Yes, please, let's talk about that.
Let me explain something.
You
True
know that's right up my
entrepreneur.
alley. I
True
said, yes, USDA.
Alley-oop. Let me just take the alley-oop here. The biggest thing is what's beef, right?
Yes.
Yes, Austin Family Angus.
That
And
Wow.
is amazing.
this is how it all started. My husband went out to Oklahoma a year and a half ago, connected with this guy. He comes home telling me about semen from bulls
What?
and how they can sell it for a lot top
What?
dollar.
Oh,
And
that's right. They
I'm
need 'em to
like,
breed.
I'm not really listening to him.
Right.
I'm like, okay, but anyway, we need to focus on these houses.
Yeah.
And he like, no, I'm telling you, like, this is a special type of bull and, you know, USDA. And I'm like, I'm listening to him, but I'm not really listening. And then I start seeing things come together. And let me tell you how your network really is so important. When I had my premiere party, someone I'm very close to, so shout out to Wall Street Trapper. He came out.
Oh, I love him.
Yeah.
He came out
Good
to the
dude.
premiere party to support, and he was just so happy to everybody's talking. So now you got everybody that I invited. Everybody's just talking and huddling. And Austin Family Angus has been around for a while. But remember, I said you can be great, but if no one knows you're great,
Right.
if you're not in the room, it doesn't change.
Right.
They've been around for a long time. Talking to my husband, they have been wanting to connect with someone to help catapult the brand.
Right.
So happened to have that conversation and learn that Rick Ross himself, he was looking to bring some agriculture to his home, to the
Wow.
promised land, right?
Wow.
Right.
And he was thinking about ways to diversify his portfolio.
Right.
And we're like, well, we have a USDA grade right here,
Right.
connection, and they've been wanting to get their foot in the door.
Yeah.
One phone call from Wall Street Trapper
One phone
to
call.
Rick Ross.
Yeah.
My husband, working on this deal, created this relationship with the people that own Austin
Wow.
Family Angus. Now we're all in business together, to have USDA ground tomahawk steaks,
Wow.
beef, and we're going to produce at a high level, and also
I love this.
recognizing
Yeah.
that if you start looking up how people are auctioning off livestock,
Yeah.
they're worth millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the semen itself is worth 50,000 a vial and
How
100,000
is
a
that?
vial.
How
No,
is that?
it's
I'm trying to
crazy.
figure that
Like,
out.
so you know, I'm the USDA.
Yeah.
That's my.
So
I go down that hole.
Now
grade
I'm
is
like,
good.
so I'm excited about it because it's diversifying our portfolio, and it's truly like you build those relationships.
Right.
And by building that relationship, my husband built a relationship
Right.
with Austin Family Agus, right?
Right.
Then had the conversation at an event I was holding with someone I built a relationship, Wall Street Trapper. He made one call,
One call. That's all.
and
That's it.
now it's delivered, and now there's a partnership, and so we're going to have beef, we're going to have
That's
tomahawk
awesome.
steaks,
That's awesome.
and it's going to be a
my
family business, and me and my husband, we're partnered in this,
That
and this
a
is exciting.
blessing.
That's
That
a
is
blessing. Now, and this is representation at its finest. And
Yes.
I can't stress to you guys enough when I say go down these rabbit holes of these programs. USDA they have a budget. One thing you never have to worry about in the food service business is being able to pay for the food. So I love that. I'm so, so, so proud of you. And this is
Yeah.
what happens when you have a woman at the table.
And also,
Yes.
it's and then just think about it like this. She went from the market crash,
Yes.
getting to property management, then building her brand, becoming a superstar realtor, okay? And then started to diversify and branch off, because that's one thing that a lot of people, I think they miss,
Right.
is that you
They
have
think
to
they
have
have to do
multiple
it all
streams
in
of
real estate.
income.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you have to diverse, and I think you have to diversify your portfolio, but you have to decide.
Right.
I've always branded Quiana Watson for a reason, because I always knew that as long as I stand strong,
Right.
everything that I'm attached to will build, and everything I attach to is going to be great because
I love
I'm great.
that. I love
Exactly.
that. So I'm sad. We're going to be wrapping this up. So we just have a few more questions to leave with the audience, and I want to make sure that we get everything out. So is
Okay.
there one question that we didn't ask you that you wanted to share with the audience? Anything going on?
Anything I have going on, I have so much.
I know you got a lot
Let's
going
talk about
on.
London.
Okay, so I'm going to London with Earn Your Leisure with, you guys know I'm with the Ransom Gems podcast, and we are doing a networking event there. We'll be talking about international investing.
I love that.
And
awesome.
the value of the pound. And beyond
to know
that, one of Jessica Delane, she is a huge Forex hedge fund manager.
Oh, wow.
And her and I, we're doing a panel together there as well.
I saw her on
Yes.
another podcast. I really
Yes.
liked her. I
and
liked her a lot.
she is so passionate about it. So we're going to be talking about business, real estate, investing, and we're having an event there too. So what I'm seeing is we're pretty much sold out of tickets.
That's
So-
amazing.
Yeah, you'll be sold out by the time you
Testing
land.
our international
Yeah.
reach,
Yeah.
and it's exciting to be in a different country and see how they move and how they do real estate.
And to
Yeah.
be in another country as an American, because you know they look at us like we're lazy, we
Oh,
don't
yes.
do anything, and especially the images that they see of African Americans, they think
Yes.
that, oh, we're not really doing it like that. I'm so happy that you're coming from Atlanta to show them how we do it. So
Absolutely.
before we leave,
Yes.
we want to ask you, because we want to always make sure that we're super transparent with the audience. Tell us something that's happened in business that was successful, but don't leave out the parts where you fucked up.
I'm going to say, when I first started to scale my real estate business, and I was moving and shaking, and I thought I had the right processes in place, because I was desperate to grow the business and I didn't take my time to vet the right person, I made a bad hire. And
how
when
that is.
they
know how
say,
that
always
is.
say never hire when you're desperate. Hire before you actually need somebody.
Right.
I hired when I was in desperate need of someone, and that person, although they helped at first, they became toxic to the business.
Wow.
And it stunted my growth. And
Wow.
I had to learn. So what I had to learn is my mess up there is I had to take a step back to catapult forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I took that step back. So that's really where I messed up. And it wasn't just on that person.
Right.
Actually, it was also on me. You have to test your leadership skills.
Right.
Like people can't read your brain.
Right.
And so that was my mess up, like not being very clear in the vision I had for the business and just bringing people in because I was desperate to keep going.
Growing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
think, I mean, and again, that's, as a new broker, there is no training book for that.
Absolutely.
So
No.
it's great that you
Well, now there is
recognize it.
one with Agent Tools for Success.
Y'all better tap
That's
into
the
that.
plug.
Y'all better
That
tap
is
into
the
that.
plug. Agent Tools for Success. Make sure you get tapped in.
And
So-
listen, speaking on that, listen, I know so many people want to tap into that, tap into all the different things you got going on, how can they get a hold of you? How can the audience get a hold of you?
I'm very easy to find. Quiana Watson, Quiana Watson, Quiana Watson across all platforms. And there's links to everything that I do on every page.
Well, Quiana, thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you
for
so
coming.
much for being our first guest on the Money
just
Play
blessing our stage.
blessing our stage. And I can't tell you enough. I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy to see you representing Black women.
You are a true
Thank
inspiration.
You. And
A
I got to give you guys your flowers. When I walked in this set, I said, oh, this is fancy.
That's all Maya.
However, I want to say that, Maya, you are amazing.
Oh,
you know,
thank
your
you.
episode with us is still going viral months later, right?
Oh, God.
And Justin, your episode with us is still going viral. But beyond that, what you guys are doing, putting these money plays out here so other people can have, they say success leaves clues.
Right.
You guys are giving them the right clues, and I am honored to be on this stage with you all.
It's an honor to have you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mwah. All right, guys, it's a wrap, and we will see you next time on the Money Play.